What up, y'all? I'm back at it again, once again, time and time again. Watched Cat Williams the other day. Um, we're getting back to the podcast. I, as of tomorrow, I will have been let go for 2 weeks. Um, we've been trying to game plan and figure things out and see what avenues we want to go down as far as me being creative, working, whatnot. And while it may be controversial, I have no plans to go back into the corporate world. I cannot stand it. I've never been able to stand it. And now that I am where I am in my life, I just don't want to do it anymore. And my wife can understand and appreciate that. And she supports me fully. So my goal from now on is to be a creative. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I know I want to write. I know I want to do podcasts. I want to record, do voiceover, a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll see where everything lands. As for today, this is going to be the first in my weekly upload. And it's going to piss a lot of people off, I'm sure. It's called Monday Sermons. And I chose Monday because I didn't want to be a complete asshole and do it on Sunday, even though that was my initial thought and I thought it was hilarious. I don't really want to piss people off, but I know it's going to. And I've spent so much time, like a lot of other people, worrying about what the perception is going to be and what bullshit people are going to project on me because I think a little bit differently. It's been happening my entire life. I'm used to it. It's not really that big of a deal. That being said, there is going to be some possibly inflammatory statements that I will make in all of this just because I have my opinions and I will share them going forward. Now, as for the format of what I'm doing today, I believe in the written word. I always have. And the people around me, the people that were closest to me, have always said that I had a knack for it. So it may sound staged or rehearsed or however you want to look at it, but I personally feel that me writing it out gets it out in a succinct way that I can be proud of. Because I feel like I'm more eloquent than just like, oh, you know what the fuck ever. Like that's not me. So with that being said, for today, July 6th, 2026, this is the first installment of Monday Sermon. I remember my grandma telling me several times when I was a child that her sister would call things before they happen, and she was told that I was going to be a priest. Even as a kid, that didn't sound right to me because I had no interest whatsoever in going through seminary and dedicating my life to the church that I had so many hangups with. But with the benefit of the wisdom that comes with age, I've realized that maybe it was just her frame of reference. It is possible that she saw me speaking on things of a spiritual nature, and having grown up Catholic, her understanding of what she saw equated to priest in her mind. I didn't get what it could have meant until more recently, because I now feel drawn to speak my mind, voice my opinions, and share my stories, which is exactly what I intend to do going forward. The reason I detest organized religion, Christianity specifically, is because over the 42 years of my life, I have seen it change good, tolerant, loving, accepting people into people that disregard how someone views themselves because it doesn't jive with their particular ideology. You see, I was fortunate enough to be raised by the only person I have ever encountered in my 42 years that is a Christian and actually tried to live their life Christ-like. So I do know what a good Christian looks like. Just Catholic specifically, but it isn't about who has the most scripture committed to memory. It is about being a shining light in the darkness, loving thy neighbor no matter what their race, color, creed, pronouns, or sexual orientation, giving hope and love to those that have none. That's what my grandma meant to me. I never worried about her accepting, loving, or being there for us, because when I was around her, all I felt was comfort and peace. She didn't like all the things I was doing or the path I was going down, but I never felt judged. I would only feel her concern for me, which is something I rarely felt from anyone else ever in my life. I try to be the example for the kids in my family, whether they are mine or not. I am perpetually Uncle Bobbert, and have been for the entirety of my adulthood, and I wear that designation with pride. I spent the majority of my life isolated and lonely because I felt like I didn't belong even in my own family. I was the one that didn't have a dad. I was the one raised by mostly my grandparents. I was the boy with a lot of big emotions that nobody else in the family ever understood. And in my family, if you don't understand something about someone, you just ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. A fact that I've seen play out too much, and it can no longer be recognized as a random occurrence or a one off, but as a learned and perpetuated behavior. I've never been one to shy away from a fight or a conflict. In fact, I like them because, as petty as it may sound, I thoroughly enjoy putting ignorant people in their place. I'm truly happy for those that do not think like me, that haven't spent their lives feeling like the black sheep of the black sheep, because I wouldn't wish my path on anyone. But I truly believe I had to go through all manners of abuse to become the safe space for the younger generation that I am. My children, nieces, nephews, biological or not, know that all that matters to me is that they're happy. And if they ever need somebody to just have their back and accept them for who they are, and not who I want them to be, I'm just a phone call or message away. I have had them come to me saying that their parents, grandparents, or whoever just don't get them. I've seen them speak in hushed tones, afraid to talk about who they really are, because they have been lectured about how they are somehow wrong for thinking how they do, or they perceive things differently than the acceptable or required narrative. And I know exactly what they're talking about because their experience reflects my own. I see myself as a light worker that not only found his guiding light, he fought his way through the shadows to earn it. And I'm still learning to alchemize all the negative I have felt and or been made to feel and made it motivation or my purpose so no one else has to feel alone as I did. I was told that children were supposed to be seen and not heard. I heard that and immediately knew two things. One, that's bullshit. And two, that I'm not safe to speak my mind around that type of person because they will see it as disrespect or backtalk. I was taught that being gay or trans was abnormal, not by words, but through the jokes made or how quickly someone's opinion is dismissed on the topic because you're just confused. I felt defective for questioning my own sexuality at any point in my life because I wanted to be normal, and having those thoughts at any age meant I was broken. I was scolded like I was in basic training as an 8 or 9 year old. I was told by my mom that she wished that I was never born around the same age because we got into an argument about how I was complicating her relationship with her beau at the time. I was beaten, with bruises left on me to the point my family had an intervention, but nothing was done and I endured many more beatings thereafter. I remember telling my mom about inappropriate things that had happened to me as a younger child whenever I was in my teen years, only to watch her stay around said person, and I live with my grandparents. In an age where we're all living in self imposed exile, surrounding ourselves with only those sharing our worldview and ostracizing those that dare to have a contrarian opinion, I seek to be different. I don't believe that someone's religious or political ideology should have any effect on the relationships they would cultivate, unless said ideologies are infringing upon the rights of others to simply exist as they are. That's a deal breaker for me, especially whenever it comes to my kids. I don't expect anybody to change their core beliefs. What I do expect is for people to be treated with basic human decency and recognized for who they are, instead of who others think they should be based on their beliefs. My opinion shouldn't mean anything to anyone but me. I'm nobody. But the thing is, we all are. Thinking we are special and that we fit in because we all share the same affinity for certain fairy tales is ridiculous. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, but I don't assume that if somebody likes Star Wars as well, that we are the same and anyone outside of that is wrong. We as a culture have become way too comfortable with identifying ourselves by our political parties, religion, race, color, creed, etc. So much so that we've lost sight of the fact that we're all souls having a different human experience. And if we all remembered that, we might just be able to come together as a nation and eventually fingers crossed, a world. So I challenge you today to challenge your beliefs. Read a book about a differing opinion than one that you have. If you consider yourself a misogynist, read a book about feminism. Hear about the struggles. If you consider yourself an atheist, read a religious book. And I don't mean the Bible, I mean read somebody's account of their spiritual and religious experiences. I'm not saying it'll change anybody's mind, but it just helps us gain perspective. And in this day and age, especially where I'm at in my life, perspective is the only thing that we have left. We have to remember to see each other as equals, as one people that are just having different experiences. Because if we forget about that, we lose our humanity. I hope everybody has a good week. I hope y'all like this. Like, share, subscribe, that Infernal NPC on pretty much everything. All social media, YouTube, all that good stuff. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm Father Bobbert, wishing you peace, love, and light.